Let me show you guys how to make my mom's famous cinnamon rolls. My mom passed away a year ago, just days before Mother's Day. And one of my favorite things she made were her cinnamon rolls. Despite the fact that I bake all the time, I've never made her cinnamon roll recipe. So I'm gonna do that today. Here I just have about a cup of milk, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of sugar and give that a good mix. We want it anywhere between 100 and 105 degrees. Any warmer and it will kill the yeast. Any cooler and your yeast just won't bloom. I'm just gonna pour that into the milk, give that a good stir. Now let this sit for about 5 minutes until it's nice and foamy. In a separate measuring cup, I have a cup of milk, and I have that heated to a scalding temperature. To that, I will add, if I can open the container, a tablespoon of Crisco. Checking on our yeast, and you can see that it's nice and foamy, and that means our yeast is good and we can use it. In this bowl, I have 5 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna start by adding the Crisco milk mixture. Mix that around. Now I'll add in the yeast mixture. Mix. There's a nice shaggy dough here, and that's when you dump it onto your nicely cleaned counter. Now I will knead the dough for about 8 to 10 minutes until the dough is nice and silky and smooth. I remember when I was a little kid just watching my mom knead bread dough all the time. It was so mesmerizing to me. Me and my sisters used to love getting little dough balls from her, and then we'd just throw them around the house like they were bouncy balls. I have a large bowl here that I lightly greased. Drop our dough into there, and we're gonna cover it and let it rise for about 1 to 2 hours until it's doubled in size. The dough has more than doubled in size, I would say. Get all the air out. As you can see, I have a nice even rectangle here. I don't want to get my hands dirty, so I'm going to use gloves for this part. I have a whole stick of butter here, and it's nice and soft and squishy. So I'm just going to plop that on various parts of my dough and smear that around. Glove off. This part you just measure with your heart, but we're going to add a generous amount of brown sugar over the whole thing. Gently swoosh it around so that it covers the whole dough. That's what it should look like. Now I'm gonna go over the top of that with some white sugar. Right? I'm gonna say that's good. And now we're gonna generously top with cinnamon. And when you're done, it should resemble like a shag rug. Just gonna roll it up into a log. Roll this seam side down. Make them about that thick. I'm gonna cover these and let them rise for about a half hour before I bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. They're out of the oven, and look how perfect these look. With gloves on, you'd be really careful. Without injuring ourselves, we're gonna flip this. See? Oh. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, look at that. Hold on, let me show you. Let's cut into this sucker. Cheers. This is just like my mom used to make. It has the most amazing sugary crust on the outside, and then it's so fluffy and soft on the inside. I'm gonna have this recipe listed in the caption or in the comments, depending on where you're watching this. I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching.